Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Kathy. I have a new project to share with you. We're going to be featuring the July 2017 Paper Pumpkin Kit, and we're going to get started. First, we're going to be creating 4 of the cards that came in the kit, so hopefully this is something that you'd like to see going forward. If not, just let me know. And also, I'm going to be sharing an alternate project. Okay, so we're going to get started, and I have the first card, all the elements all together here, and it comes with some cute little labels for the sentiments. And I have the heart panel, so we're going to take out the heart and we're going to use this heart front panel. And I'm going to use a pink card base, which I did cut in half. And then this flower pre-printed piece, we're going to be using that along with the grass piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue down the grass piece just below the pre-printed flowers. And I thought I'd try to fluff up the grass there, but it was a bit stiff. And then with some dimensionals, I'm just going to cover up the back with the dimensionals. And that way I can line up the heart panel to the little flowers. So I get that nice and straight. And then I'll add a bit more adhesive on the little panel and then line it up onto the pink panel. So I thought that was the easiest to get it straight. And then we're just going to glue down the wood cutout pieces for the flowers. And I did mount this on a top folding card panel, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then with the Tranquil Tide ink, I'm just stamping the sentiment onto the little label pieces that came in the kit. And I put some dimensionals on the left and some adhesive on the right, and then just stuck that down on the front there. And to finish off the card, I did put the washi tape off screen at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second card, and I'm just removing the circle from the circle panel, and we're going to cover it up with the blue washi tape. And once you finish that, you could cut around the shape or do what I did. I thought it was a little too much, so I started trimming back a bit of it so that it makes it a little bit easier to tuck behind the circle piece there. So whichever way is easier for you. And then with the watercolor note card there, I just stamped 3 of the starbursts and then glue down that circle piece. And my H broke on my hooray, so I'm just going to glue that back on. So now it's good as new and ready to be stuck down on that front panel there. So we're just going to glue that down, and then I also have the sentiment that goes with this already pre-stamped, and I do have some dimensionals also on that. So we'll just bring that in once we're finished sticking down the hooray. And there's the little sentiment. So I'm just loving this kit, super easy to create, and really nice cards, I'd have to say. So I am having a tough time coming up with some alternate projects, but I do have some in mind. Okay, so we're going to move to the third card. This is another note card. We're just going to fold that and score that. And we're going to grab the pink bar, the lemon lime twist bar. So I'm going to assemble everything on my non-stick mat first. So we're going to do the bars, and then we'll do the pink washi tape. Just kind of stack 2 together, and then I thought I'd just trim off the ends, and then we'll stick that onto the heart and stamp the U word. And now it's ready for the love wood cut piece. So we'll just glue that down, and we're ready to assemble this card. So we'll stick the 2 bars in the center of the card base, and then we'll just stick the hearts in the center, or the heart in the center, with some dimensionals. Now I did forget to stamp the little hearts from the stamp set, so I did do that off screen. So there is a quick still of that. And then for the final card from the kit, I pre-stamped the sentiment hello friend, and we're just going to grab the 2 stickers from the sticker sheet. Just line up the bottom of the curve on that wood piece. So that's nice and ready. And then we're going to move on to the next step here. So I do have the blue panel or the blue card base. I'm going to cut that in half so I can use the other half for another project. And then the white panel, I'm just going to center that onto the blue panel and just trace the circle out. And then we're ready to stamp the clouds. So I just want to make sure that I wasn't too high or too low when I stamp the clouds. And then we're going to just kind of line that up again, and I'm going to stick the wood piece onto the white panel first. I could have done it the other way, but I don't know. I was sticking everything on the front panel first. All right, and I decided to remove the adhesive there because I went a little bit too high, and then just to be quick, I used some glue dots to get that stuck down, the wood piece. And then we're going to cover the back with some more dimensionals, and then we'll just center it onto the blue panel, and then I'll be mounting that on a top folding card base too. And the sentiment, I did raise it with some foam tape, and then to finish the card off, I did put the blue washi tape at the bottom off screen there, and I'm just going to show you a quick shot of that. All right, and so yeah, the kit is pretty awesome. Now for the alternate project, we're going to be using the one little flower, which is that tulip. And then on a white card base, we're just going to kind of sketch out the stems. So 2 stems for the flower. And the markers that we're going to be using is the Lemon Lime Twist and the Tranquil Tide Stamp and Write markers, and then Soft Sky for the ink to stamp out the flower. Okay, so we're going to stamp the tulip, one in the center, and then one left and right, or right and left, and then we're just going to build from there. So I'm not perfect when I'm stamping this either, so each time you stamp, you're going to be creating the shape of this flower. It's somewhat tapered from the bottom, and then the top part is kind of curved all the way around as you build this flower. And try not to stamp too much in the center because you want to leave a little bit of white space there because you're going to be dotting the center with the Lemon Lime Twist marker to create a center. Okay, so once you get the right size flower, I'm going to move on to the next flower. And this one I'm just kind of building upwards. And then as I'm satisfied with the height, I'm just going to build outwards and then creating that tapered bottom look and that curved top part. I don't know how to really explain this, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then here's the Lemon Lime Twist marker. I'm just going to dot the center there. There's some little strokes and dots there to create a center, and then I'm going to draw in the stems. And don't be too intimidated. I'm going to be hand drawing in the leaves. And then to color them in, I'm just scribbling. Like really scribbling. I'm not really coloring it in beautifully. Okay, and with the Tranquil Tide fine tip, I just add a bit of detail in the center of the flowers, and now I'm tracing out the stems and the leaves just to give it some more detail and definition. And then once I'm finished tracing out the stem and the leaves, I'm just going to flip the marker over and then do the same thing. And this is just going to add just a little bit more depth to the stem and the leaves. Okay, and then the flowers, you could leave it as is, but I want to add a bit more life to it. So on the fine tip part of the Tranquil Tide marker, I'm just going to add some strokes. Try to follow the shape of the curve of the flower. So the bottom part, you're going to add some curve to it. And then the flowers, the top part of the flower is just going to flare outwards from the center. And then the center part where the lemon lime twist is, we're just going to make it a little bit darker there just to give it some more definition. And then underneath the flower where it connects to the stem, we're just going to make that a bit darker just to give it some more depth. And I thought I'd try my white gel pen on this to see if it would give it some more interest. Okay, so now we're going to cut out the image. So we're going to get rid of the top portion. My initial thought was I was going to keep the top portion and get rid of the bottom portion, but I ended up cutting it the wrong way, so I'm just going to follow through with that. And I just thought I needed a bit more definition on that one flower around the center part and underneath. And because I'm going to be gluing down this panel, I'm going to remove the two little white sections underneath the flowers. Okay, and then I'll be gluing that down on the pink card panel, which I did cut in half. And then to save some time, I did add the pearls off screen, so a nice splash of different size pearls. And then that little part there on the right didn't look quite right, so I'm just gonna follow through with that just so that matches the rest of the stems. And then the love woodcut piece, I just glued it down following the curve of that stem part. So that's our card for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired you to create your own. So we're going to be jumping into a quick recap of the cards. So the 4 cards that came in the kit, I think it's a pretty awesome kit this month. I was quite happy and pleased with it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye for now.